Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. In case you missed it, I'm getting married in September and I'm going to be doing my own makeup. I've been playing with a bunch of different makeup looks to see what kind of vibe I'm feeling for the day. And today I'm very excited to say that I am partnering with Holt Renfrew to show you a very soft, glam, natural, beautifying, bridal-inspired makeup look using all products that you can find at Holt Renfrew as well as holtrenfrew.com. So let's go ahead and take this naked face and turn her into a bride. So to ensure that all potential disasters can be averted, we're gonna start with the eyes. I'm gonna start by putting a layer of the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Concealer. This is the same concealer that we're going to be using on the face, and I'm just going to start by putting a little layer of that on the eyes. You can use a separate primer if you want, but we do want to have a little base here just to help with the longevity of the eyes, but also if you have a lot of discoloration and veins like I do, it just helps to make a nice, bright, even canvas for the rest of our eye products to go on top of. Ta-da! Our eyelids are primed and ready to go. In my personal opinion, less is more when it comes to eye makeup, and I love nothing more than taking a singular liner and just rubbing it all over my eyeballs. It has the most beautiful effect, it's very easy, and it's kind of foolproof if you too are doing your own makeup. This Bridal Bora Bora Kajal pencil is a beautiful brown, and I'm going to start by taking that all along the lash line to intensify the lashes and make them appear a little bit thicker. But because this pencil is so creamy, we're going to be able to blend that into the lash line and also blend that up into the crease to start chiseling out the rest of the eye. So I'm just going to be pressing that and just carving that into my natural crease. I'm going to grab a fluffy brush and just blend that out along the way. So we've blended out a nice first layer, and now I'm going to go ahead and add another layer just to intensify the outer corner. And you can just keep adding layers until you're happy with the intensity. I want this to be a pretty soft look, and I want the focus of the intensity to be on that lash line, on the outer half of the lash line. And you just blend it out as you go. And we'll go ahead and do the same on the other side. Using the same liner, I'm going to go along my lower lash line as well. I'm not going to go quite to the inner corner because we can just blend it there, but just depositing the bulk of the product on the outer half of the lower lash line. And then taking the same brush and just blending that out. So now we're going to build up the intensity on top of that using this beautiful Summerina Brown eyeshadow palette from Gucci. So starting with the lighter of the two shades, I'm going to just start building up the intensity on the outer half of my eyelid. So just really lightly patting that on. And then we're going to do the same thing using the deeper shade in the palette, but I'm not going to go as far into the crease with this one. I'm going to really focus this one just right here, just so it's all like diffusing together. Just tap, 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 tap. And then I always go in with a fluffier brush and just blend that together. Now using a little bit of the lighter brown, I'm also going to take that on the lower lash line, and this will help to just set in the liner that we applied there, but it'll also add a little bit of diffusion and shadowing on there too. Now we'll dip into the beautiful shimmery shade in the palette and use this on the inner corner, but just on the top of the inner corner, and we're going to pat that right over the whole inner half of the lid. And once we're done applying the shimmer, we can go back in with the deeper shadow and just take a tiny little touch of this along the lash line and add a little bit more shadow. Now going back to the Bora Bora pencil, I'm going to try to hold back my tears, but I want to add a little bit of this on the upper waterline and add to the overall soft, smoky effect of the eye. Now I know it looks incomplete now, but we're going to finish up the eyes later. But now that the shadow's done, the eyeliner's applied, we can go ahead and work on the face. Now I have been loving the underpainting method, and the basic idea of that is applying all of your contour and bronzer and concealer underneath your foundation, and I think that really adds to the overall natural finish of the makeup, and I think it has such a beautiful effect for bridal makeup. So we're going to do that today using the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate palette, starting with this contour. Making a little kissy face and applying that onto the cheekbones and blending it upwards towards the temple, and taking the excess product and just applying that onto the jawline. Now this is totally up to personal preference, but you can also apply the contour onto the nose. I personally love to add a little bit of warmth. I'm kind of going and rubbing the contour around the tip of my nose and then right up into the brow. Another fun tip is to also take your contour around your lips on the top and the bottom, and if you forget to blend this out, that can be hilarious. We'll do our best to remember today. So now we're gonna go back to our Armani Luminous Silk Concealer and use this to highlight and conceal around the face. So I'm gonna start with the center, putting a little bit on my forehead. I'm gonna take a little line down the bridge of my nose, get rid of these lovely little zitties right here and brighten under the eyes. I get a lot of redness around my nose, so I like to put a little extra bit there and just a bit right here underneath the contour on our cheeks. And go ahead and blend that all out with a brush. You can use your fingers, you can use a sponge, but just make sure to try to not disturb the eyes that we've very beautifully done. And just go ahead and use patting motions to softly blend that into the skin. So now that we've blended out all our concealer and contour, we're gonna go on top of this with foundation. I'm using the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation, and we're going to stipple the foundation on top of this, and it's gonna blend everything together. So I'm gonna use such a light amount and just apply that on top. And in doing this process, it just means that we are only concealing the areas that we need it, and the foundation is acting as that top layer to just softly diffuse it all together. So once we're all done blending, we're gonna go ahead and use some setting spray. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless setting spray. Use as much or as little as you want. I like to pour this all over my face. And then we need to set this in to make sure that it lasts all day and all night long. This is the Givenchy Loose Setting Powder. Take a little bit of that, tap off the excess. And then I always like to start by setting underneath the eyes. Look at the difference. This powder is magic. And then from underneath the eyes, I just like to take that around the entire center of the face, really. I go around my mouth, on the forehead. I don't want any shine right here. And I'll just softly dust the rest around. Now for blush, we're gonna use this shade from Charlotte Tilbury, which is perfectly fitting for the bridal makeup. This is the shade Love Glow, and we're gonna apply this on the apples of the cheeks, but I also like to bring the blush right up towards the eyebrow and kind of just give a little kiss to the eyelid, you know? I like it to all be blended together. If we want to intensify the highlight a little bit, we can go back to the Tom Ford palette and just take our finger, dip into the highlight shade, and just take a little kiss of this on the top of our cheekbone. So I'm just patting so lightly right on the top of the cheekbone here, just to intensify that highlight. Now, one of my favorite lip shades of all time is this gorgeous lip chic from Chantecaille in the shade Patience. Such a beautiful balmy lipstick. It's very close to my natural lip color, and it's one of those shades that's gonna look good all day long. So now we can finally go back and finish the eyes. The mascara I'm using today is the YSL Lash Clash. This is gonna add so much volume onto the lashes. It's gorgeous. I'm gonna mainly focus this on the upper lashes. Make sure to get those nice and lifted. And I'll just take a tiny little touch, just a little whoop on the lower lashes. And finally, don't forget to set your brows. And then we can remove the clips because the makeup is done. And once the hair is fixed, we are ready to go. This is everything for my very soft, glam, natural bridal makeup look. Is this a contender for my upcoming wedding makeup in September? Please let me know your thoughts. As I mentioned at the start of the video, all the products that I've used on my face today can be found at Holt Renfrew and at holtrenfrew.com. I'm gonna list everything that I used in the description box down below. I hope that you guys enjoyed this makeup look. Thank you so much for getting ready with me today, and I'll see you all very soon for a new video. Bye!